those who criticize our generation forget who raised it, and also forget, or just don't have a clue, what position they have left us in. So it is our turn now to fix what has been done, and we must stand up, and we must stand up quickly for our next generation, for our grandchildren, before it's too late. So I just want to ask you one question, and that question is, what does freedom mean to you?
And pot users, beware, the federal government may seek to confiscate your guns.
Ben Swan, he's one of the anchors over there, an investigative reporter at Fox 19 in Cincinnati, now has a national, international following via YouTube and their site. We're taking phone calls, got a lot of fans out there. We're going to take 5 phone calls for you for this short segment, and the next, then you're gone. Let's talk to Brian in Colorado. You're on the air with our guest. Go ahead.
Big fan of yours, Mr. Swan, and you as well, Mr. Jones. I wanted to bring you up to pace on a few things that I found out. I live in Colorado, and it's very frightening to have the ATF state that they're going to take people's gun rights that smoke marijuana or use marijuana, because a lot of people in Colorado have guns, and a lot of people in Colorado smoke marijuana. But the thing I really wanted to point out to you, gentlemen, is that through my research, I found that marijuana oil cures cancer.
Well, it's certainly been shown to be a treatment. Let me stop you. This is how crazy the news is. That broke after I was off air yesterday. We carried it on the nightly news. I read the ruling from 2 days ago. It's true. They're saying alcohol abuse, marijuana use, any drug, any substance abuse that they say, no judge, no jury, they're taking your guns. Ben Swan, what do you make of that?
I haven't heard it, so I really can't comment on it. I mean, I'd love to see it, though. One of your producers could be a link to that. That'd be great.
It's already in featured news archive. Just put it up on screen for folks that are watching and listening. But that said, coming up, you heard 2 days ago there was a federal ruling saying that the ATF can start doing asset forfeiture seizure. And that means if they pull you over in your car and you've got your deer hunting rifle and they find a marijuana seed that they plant or that, you know, somebody left in there, you are going to lose your car, your firearm. If one marijuana seed is found in your house, they're going to take your house. Now, that's what they're starting to do with asset forfeiture seizure. You've seen even on CNN, Fox News, I'm ashamed to say my own state, the police are actually pretty good in Texas on average. I've been all over the country. That's a side issue. The ATF is now saying that they are going to take all of your guns without a judge, without a jury, asset forfeiture, admiralty. It's the law of war. It's part of martial law. We're now under admiralty, and a federal court ruled 2 days ago that the ATF could take your guns. Well, I finally read the ruling, and it is unbelievable. Guns of pot users to be confiscated. So I'm going to cover that coming up after we get into QE3. And I'm glad a caller mentioned it because there's so much news on my plate. And we're going to be getting to Ted Anderson here in just a moment. But guns of pot users to be confiscated. But it also, I read it, Susanne Posel wrote this. I actually read the order yesterday afternoon. The ruling, and it actually says alcohol, anything. If you ever get on Oxycontin like Rush Limbaugh because your back's hurt, they're going to take your guns. I mean, this is big. Remember, Obama said, "I'll get their guns. Don't worry. Outside of law, we're going to go under the radar." Sarah Brady talked about that Obama's promised me he's going to get them, and here it is, and it's just incredible. And so I'm sitting there yesterday with a headline, and I'm thinking, well, this deals with everything. How do we get people's attention? Well, we point out marijuana is what 80 million people smoke at least once a month, statistics state. 40 million every day, probably higher than that. But they say 80+% of Americans have tried it at least once. I've smoked it. Smoked quite a bit of it. Never really liked it. But now they've got these more designer marijuana out there. The point is that this is a big deal. And so are they saying that they can just plant marijuana on me and take my guns? You know, the 68 Gun Control Act states, see, I said I'd cover this later. I'm already covering it. The 68 Gun Control Act says if you're a felon, and people said then, don't do it. Even Charlton Heston, who promoted the 68 Gun Control Act, later said he was wrong by the mid-90s. He said, I was wrong, because now they get you for felonies for anything, while they, the ruling elite, are exempt. So this is a big deal. They're talking about in here now implementing it that if you get a drunk driving charge and you agree to the counseling, that you don't know that when you're with the counselor admitting that you drink every day, they're going to call that substance abuse and take your guns. You think they're going to stop with the troops and the post-traumatic stress and just take the millions of veterans' guns? They're going to get everybody's guns by the time they're done. This is incredible. This is, listen, everybody wants marijuana legalized. I mean, it's in some states as high as 90+%. Understand it's not as bad as alcohol. It's got a lot of health benefits. It's a lot better than Prozac, I know that, and Ritalin and all the rest of it. It helps a lot of people. Cancer patients, you name it. Stop raiding our houses. Stop setting up checkpoints. Stop filling the jails with people that smoke pot. Stop taking people's kids if they smoke pot.
Top story, headline. Guns of pot users to be confiscated. Oh, yes, it's come to that. The Obama administration, through the Justice Department, has given the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives the authority to seize and administratively forfeit property involved in controlled substance abuses. In effect, those who are convicted of crimes involving alcohol and/or substance abusers will have their right to bear arms revoked. So very scary information right there. Me personally, I'm not a drug advocate, but I am a gun advocate. I'm a proud gun owner, and I just see another attempt of this administration to strip people of their rights and their guns and their ability to protect themselves, because I don't like sitting around and waiting for somebody to come and rescue me. Hey, I'm not one of those kill 'em all, shoot 'em all kind of guys. I don't have a problem dialing 911, but I tell you what, I'm going to grab my gun first, and I'm going to grab my phone second. So don't try to take my guns. And before I get all hot and fired up on this, let me turn now to our special info warrior, fashionista, who dresses me quite nice, Miss Linda West. How are you doing today, Linda?
I'm doing great, Jakari.
Good to be here. Now, when I first saw the story, you know this was a last-minute addition to our broadcast tonight, this pot smoker story, but it's something that's very important, very relevant. So when you first heard the story, what was your initial thought?
My initial thought was 140 million Americans smoke pot.
Yeah.
It's legal in 16 states.
Now, Linda, if I can interrupt you for 1 second, that is quite an impressive nameplate. I don't know if we can throw that back up, but it was something to Linda, let me do my nightly, Linda West, certified chemical dependency counselor. Wow.
Are you impressed?
Yeah, I'm very impressed. That's a reason, I guess that's why you're sitting here right now, because you have some insight on what this could mean for pot smokers, because you know I'm a gun guy and I guess you're a drug girl. I don't know. But hey,
okay, we'll just go with that.
Yeah,
It's all right.
We'll call it good. Now, Linda, I was looking at this article and did a little backtracking, and you know the 68 Gun Control Act says that if you're a convicted felon, then you couldn't carry a gun. That's where this, you know, convicted felons not being able to carry firearms came from.
Right.
But before then, they could. So we see here yet another ploy, you know, Obama administration just want to rob people of their firearms. Why do you think this is? Why do you think they want people's guns so bad?
Well, let me see.
Okay.
They're ordering millions of rounds of ammo themselves.
Over a billion. The whole government combined.
Over a billion suddenly, and they want to take all the Americans' guns away. I'd say they think there's going to be an issue.
I mean, possibly some martial law situation. I mean, because they have armored pillboxes and they have these big, I can't even call them Star Wars tanks. These big things they're driving around in, big bulletproof. I mean, it looks like no, let's not forget about the drones. I mean, we got drones. They started off flying U.S.-Mexico border, U.S.-Canada border, and now they're in your neighborhood. I mean, Alex did the drones in Austin.
I know, absolutely. In Buffalo, it's the first city to actually, they're fighting the Occupy Buffalo site. They're fighting it, but they're all over the place, as you said. So I don't know, with the new QE3, possible economic crisis, that would be my guess, but who knows?
Yeah. So we see here an asset forfeiture seizure. If they catch you with drugs or whatever they consider to be drugs, it may not be, I mean, it's not limited to, you know, things such as marijuana. It could be prescription drugs and other things like that. But as far as marijuana, pot smokers, why do you think they want to take away the rights of pot smokers? I mean, what are the benefits? You know, you're a, you know, certified drug counselor. I mean, very impressive nameplate person. What do you think is the deal? I mean, what's the benefit of smoking pot? Well,
the reason that marijuana was legalized is because they're finding, actually, new Harvard studies, that it's a miracle plant. It is proving to cause, I mean, to cure cancer. It's stopping lung tumors from growing, things that they can't stop or treat with chemotherapy. They're able to treat with marijuana.
You say in your town, people can walk down the street smoking weed, but they can't smoke a cigarette on their own front porch.
Absolutely.
So what is that about?
Well, tobacco kills, and there has not been one case where marijuana has proven to be the death of anyone.
Okay.
So I guess that's the reasoning. And secondhand smoke also kills, but secondhand marijuana smoke hasn't proven to hurt anyone. Although I wouldn't recommend anybody out there that smokes, smoking around your children or anything like that. But the fact is, it is a miraculous drug, and it's treating things. It's even growing back brain tissue. So marijuana is actually good for your brain.
It's good for your brain. Okay, so now
Science Daily.
Now you're talking about the different uses of hemp. Like, what are a few things people can use hemp for besides just smoking it?
Well, hemp is it's another miraculous part of the marijuana plant, and it doesn't have any drug effects to it at all. No THC is the active ingredient in marijuana that produces the medicinal effects. But hemp has been traditionally used. In fact, it used to be that you had to grow hemp. They have pictures of Uncle Sam going, "Grow hemp for your country."
Really?
Yes, because hemp can replace all the paper products. You can also use it as a fuel. And the hemp seed is actually the most potent source of vegetable protein on the planet. So for vegetarians, hemp seed is just very, very important.
Okay, I mean, this is all new to me.
And also, well, David Bronner, who's the owner of Bronner's Natural Soaps, he's trying to start a campaign to bring hemp back to the United States, allow us to use it, because right now hemp is outlawed because marijuana is outlawed. And so we outsource all our hemp needs to Canada. It's a $500 million business, and he wants to bring that home. So he was actually in a cage in front of the White House growing hemp, because he wanted to grow it in the cage and then have them test it so he could prove that there was no THC in it, so they could stop trying to make it illegal along with the cannabis medicinal side of it.
Okay. So as your experience as a drug counselor, what do you think is more harmful, things such as marijuana or all these prescription drugs that they're trying to push on people, even young children? You know, you've dealt with substance abuse.
It's really disgusting. The pharmaceutical companies, the effects that they have on the body, the suicides you hear about with Prozac and all those things, and chemotherapy, the side effects for that.
Yes.
Horrible, horrible. No side effects with marijuana. Well, the munchies. You could be ordering a lot of pizzas out there, so that's a problem, unless you're, you own Domino's.
Okay, so you think, just I mean, in your professional opinion, you think that marijuana is a much better, drug substance to be used than medicinal drugs, things like Prozac?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, Marinol is a way to use marijuana if you don't want to smoke it. It's in a pill form, and I think that that is such a preferred medicine for children, other than the Ritalin things they're putting them on right now. But marijuana has a bad name, and Hearst was one of the people that made sure he bought the lobbyist, and they made marijuana illegal. He slapped it with a bunch of Mexicans because he wanted to make it sound bad, and it was never even about him trying to outlaw it as a drug. He wanted to get rid of the hemp side of it because he owned all the lumber companies, and hemp was replacing paper, wood paper rather. So there's just been a big smear campaign on marijuana. It really shouldn't even be lumped in with drugs. It should be lumped in with medicine. Okay. In my opinion. Yeah. In my professional.
So we see the drug schedule. We see marijuana listed amongst these very harmful drugs at the top of the pyramid. And so you feel that marijuana shouldn't be linked in with those same other harmful substances?
No, I mean, let's face it. There is an ability to be addicted to anything. People, I mean, it's really interesting that in the rehabs, one of the biggest addictions was sex.
Really?
I mean, oh yeah, people are really addicted.
Let's lock people up. Let's get the NDAA right now to lock up people for knocking boots. But thank you very much, Miss Linda West, for your time. Very insightful thing for me because, you know, I'm pretty square, but I do like my guns and my old T-shirts and
square but sweet.
Yeah, a couple extra pounds never really hurt. Yeah, country boy. All right, thanks, Linda, and we'll keep an eye on this, and hopefully these people will keep their sticky fingers off the guns of these, you know, supposed drug abusers and even alcoholics.
Well, let's hope so, because this is just. It's not a law. It's just another way to grab our guns that's totally illegal. And ultimately, some of the biggest gun-owning states also have legal marijuana laws. So it'll be a fight. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we see the Obama administration coming up with yet another reason to grab your guns. So get this report out to everybody you know. I know we say that a lot, but between guns and drugs, you know somebody this story affects. So get it out there and let people know what's really going on.